Thank you, JD, and congratulations. Our final distinguished alumnus is Robert Cain from the class of 1978. Before I introduce his presenter, I have to tell you that in 1973, I was a brand new graduate and I walked into the first classroom I ever taught in my life at Westgate, and he was sitting right in front. And right behind him sat the guy who's going to present him. Introduce Bob Beals.
Thank you. It's my distinct honor to introduce the next distinguished alumni recipient, Dr. Robert Allen Cain. I'm proud to say he's been one of my best friends for the past 50 years. Though he goes by Robert or Dr. Cain these days, or Bob to folks in East Liverpool, for half a century I've seldom called him anything except Cain. He was born in the East End of East Liverpool. He's the oldest child of Max and Laura Cain of LaCroft. He moved with his family to LaCroft at the age of 5 and attended LaCroft, then Westgate and East Liverpool High School. Some highlights of his high school years included being senior class president of the class of 78, voted most likely to succeed. He was the salutatorian of our class. He received 4 varsity letters and was the lead in the senior class play. His academic performance earned him the Ohio Academic Merit Scholarship. During his senior year, he was the sports editor for both the Karamose Yearbook and the Karamose Echo School newspaper. He also worked as a sports reporter for both the Review and the Morning Journal while still a student. Dr. Cain and I attended the University of Cincinnati, where he studied chemical engineering and biology. He graduated cum laude in 1982, then attended the Medical College of Ohio at Toledo, graduated in 1987. While there, he worked on inborn errors of metabolism research. Dr. Cain could have gone into any specialty in medicine and would certainly excelled. He told me at the time that he wanted to establish relationships with his patients and maintain those relationships over time, which led him to choose general practice family medicine as his focus. He did his residency in family medicine at Alton Hospital in Canton, where he was chief resident in his senior year. He joined Brunswick Family Practice and was in private practice from 1990 to 1997. Their group then joined the Cleveland Clinic in 1997 as the first group of family physicians to join the clinic. During his 25 years at the Cleveland Clinic, he has served in multiple academic positions and is currently the Director of Family Medicine Education for students at the Cleveland Clinic. Additionally, he has published original research and other articles in peer-reviewed publications. He has been named to America's Best Doctors every year since 2011 and has several times been named the top family physician in Cleveland. He's a lifelong Steelers fan, but has worked as medical review officer for the Cleveland Browns since 2009. Gotta help him. Since 2013, he has participated in 17 medical mission trips to Nicaragua and Peru. In Nicaragua, the teams there have worked on community development projects that included public health fairs, remote medical clinics, construction of a preschool for children residing near the town dump, collaboration with other non-government organizations there on medical education projects, home medical visits, and collaboration with the faith-based mission organization One Collective on development of a sustainable egg program for preschoolers, which guarantees every child gets an egg every day, and a rehabilitation center for local residents afflicted with alcoholism. He actually served as the medical captain of the Bomberos Voluntarios, the volunteer fire department in Mazatepe, Nicaragua. I was able to attend 3 trips to Nicaragua with Dr. Cain and can tell you the work he has helped with there has been transformative for many people in the Mazatepe area. I've seen him handle hundreds of patients in an afternoon in a clinic and literally go door to door helping people who are unable to leave their homes due to a medical malady. On those visits, he made use of the 4 years of Spanish that we studied at East Liverpool High School, putting people at ease by communicating with them in their native language. He holds a unique accolade in that in 2018, he was named a Sandinista terrorist by the government of Nicaragua because he worked with American missionaries in Nicaragua. Robert lives in Medina, Ohio. He's married to lovely Christy Cain. Together they have 5 children. They enjoy travel, grandchildren, and live music as often as possible. I've been fortunate to have traveled around the world with Kano. I've seen him engage with many different people. He has always been universally liked, admired, and respected. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present Dr. Robert Cain.
There's not another person that I could have even imagined to ask to introduce me other than Bob. We've been great friends for 50 years. We traveled to Europe together as young men. We worked in Nicaragua together as not so young men. Every dirty secret I have, he knows, and I'm glad he did share them with you today. The San Luis the terrorist thing is true. You know, that was kind of a shock to me when I went there and found out that, yeah, I'm listed as a terrorist there, but the government doesn't hold that against me and they still allow me to enter, so we're okay. First, I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for giving me this great honor, this opportunity to join this really esteemed collaboration of graduates of this school. It's quite an honor. Last time I had a chance to speak in public in this school, I had the opportunity to introduce Coach Lou Holtz as our 1978 class graduation speaker. A lot has changed since then. The renovation of the building is just phenomenal. Some things are still the same though. You know, our sense of pride in our hometown and the heritage that comes with that is still there. This helped keep intact our sense of place, who we are, where we come from, what makes us unique. You know, we are all Potters, and that will forever be the common denominator that we have, and it's part of our very fabric. They say that with age comes wisdom. You know, I'm not really sure about that. You know, I don't think I'm any wiser as I get older. But I do think that with age comes perspective. And my perspective in my 60s is much different than it was in 1978. Ambition is no longer a driver for me. You know, ideals of wealth and celebrity and fame are just faded visions in the rearview mirror. They just don't matter anymore. But my legacy matters. And so that's what I want to talk a little bit about is legacy. What I do for others that will endure and impact their life is what matters to me now. My legacy in medicine is not going to be curing cancer. It's not going to be inventing medical devices. It's not going to be solving complex healthcare policy problems. That's not the path my career took. But my legacy in medicine comes through education. I got, you know, a glimpse of what great educators are like through my experience here in East Liverpool. And that's always been a driving force in my career, is to be an educator. In my job now, I get to work with the students, some of the brightest and most ambitious and accomplished young people in this country. They're part of the Cleveland Clinic Learner College of Medicine. Each one of those 32 students every year gets a $375,000 scholarship for 5 years. They get full free tuition. They can get a master's degree from Case as part of this too for free. These people are super accomplished, and I get to work with them and contribute to their career development and hopefully nurture their success. And then I get to watch them go on and be the leaders of the next generation of physician scientists. That's one of the greatest privileges of my career. That's my legacy in medicine, and I'm very proud of that. My legacy in mission work is a little more complicated. As Bob said, you know, I've done a lot of work in Nicaragua. I've done some work in Peru also. And so, you know, doing these things, we've had some chances to do community development projects, you know, things that kind of help that community along. We work in a really impoverished community in Nicaragua called Mazatepe. Nicaragua is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. The average level of education is about 6th grade. You know, people get by on very little things. What I've learned from working with them, however, is that when you don't have material things, you learn to value the non-material things. And I'm so lacking in that. You know, the first time I went there, I was just astounded by how people can live their life by faith, how they can depend on God to get them through the day, and in a very real, tangible way. It was really remarkable. And I was so out of touch with the healthcare system there the first time I went there. I met with the health department director there and volunteered my assistance in anything that they might need. And I told her that I worked with a big healthcare organization, we have lots of resources, just tell me what I can do to help you out. And she asked for pencils. I'm thinking, x-ray equipment, expensive drugs, the kind of things that I deal with every day. And she asked for pencils because they don't have the budget to make the posters that they need to educate people about healthcare issues. And so I had to totally reset my expectations. And it took a while to gain some cultural competence there, but I think I succeeded somewhat, and we've been able to help them in a lot of the things that matter to them. And these are not things that we project on them anymore. These are things that we understand to be real needs for them. Working in a resource poor country has helped me in a lot of ways. It's made me a better person. By communicating regularly in a language that is not native to me, I've become a better listener. By learning to not rely on technology, I've become a better doctor. I've learned how to treat, diagnose, and counsel patients without the aid of the things that I have here at my disposal every single day. And I've become more humble by being there. Living and working in that environment, I've become the stranger, the outsider, the minority. They call me Chele in Nicaragua, and that's a term that's hard to translate because it's descriptive, meaning that you're a white outsider. Sometimes it can be derogatory, but sometimes it's like a friendly affirmation, and it all depends on the context it's given in. And so being a Chele has been a really unique and enlightening experience for me. So how do I measure my legacy and mission work? Well, I think it's probably best measured by the number of people who go with me on these teams and have life-changing experiences. We all have learned the old phrase, love thy neighbor. Well, what I've learned through working abroad is that we are all neighbors, every one of us. These people everywhere in the world are deserving of our love, our respect, and our compassion. And any of our team members who take that message back and apply it in their life going forward, that's a real success for me. That's the legacy that I hope for. I would really like to thank my parents, my community, my family, my teachers here for putting in motion the process that enabled me to get where I am today. And hopefully the momentum is going to continue for the rest of the days of my life. Thank you all very much for that. And just one final thought, as we reunite here this weekend to get together with friends, family, and community, please consider that it's not distance that separates us, it's silence. So try not to let silence separate you from the things that matter to you in your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's have another round of applause.